Pisces. This is a weird energy. I heard, oh, they want to be like me. I don't know if it's like a song. I think it might be, but it's going to be very, very niche. Like I'll try to find it after I'm done with the video. But I heard, oh, they want to be like me. And I feel like there's this energy that people want to copy you, or there could be an energy of like projection, especially if you're a Pisces rising or you have like Neptune in the first house. That Neptune energy is really strong, which makes sense too, because the first card that you guys have is Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition, and it's obviously like nautical and sea themed, right? I feel like people may not even know consciously that they are trying to copy you or trying to emulate something that you're doing or something that you are being, is what I'm hearing. But like, there are aspects to you, there are things about you that I want to be so clear that like other people want. Other people want that. Other people want to be like you. Other people want to do what you are doing. So if you're like, you know, walking around in your life, like I feel like you have a very different sense of self than how people actually see you. And a part of that is because I think having a Pisces rising or having Neptune in the first house, like that Neptune influence in regards to the first house, in regards to who you are and how people see you, I think there could be a lot of like dreamy qualities about you. Like that's, I'm trying to think of the right words with this. Also, what I'm hearing so clear all of a sudden is you have to trust yourself. You absolutely have to trust yourself. There could be something going on in your life right now, or like one or two of you might need to hear that. You need to trust yourself. Trust yourself that you're making the right choices and that you're doing the right thing, or that you are choosing the right path for yourself, okay? Trust that what you are doing is going to lead you to the place that ultimately you are aiming for. Have faith, have trust in yourself. But also I do feel like there's this energy of wanting to be like you or wanting to emulate something that you're doing, to copy you in some way, shape, or form. I feel like people want to be something that you are, do something that you're doing, or like adopt something that you're doing. I feel like you are inspiring people, and whether that's just inspiring one person or inspiring multiple people, I really do feel like you guys are inspiring people and getting them to think, getting them to look at things differently, through a different perspective, through a different lens. I feel like your happiness and your joy, or the way that, again, you just like follow your bliss, that like dreamy Piscean quality, which sometimes can be like, getting this like stress in my back. I wonder if you guys are feeling that too in your upper back and shoulders. Because all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, damn. Okay, I wanted damn, and then I wanted dang, and then it turned into whatever that word was, which feels very Piscean to me, to just create something different, because my brain and my mouth want to do two different things. Anyways, the tension's there. You guys could be feeling that. I feel like quite literally maybe you guys are holding like the weight of the world kind of like on your shoulders or something. That feeling of like there's a lot of pressure there, and for me that's a lot of stress, it's a lot of anxiety, it's just a lot of like heaviness. But I feel like I need to say that even when you are going through a tough time, or even when you feel like you're at your worst, other people are looking at you and thinking like, I want to be that version of this person. Like I want my highest version, highest timeline, whatever, to be that person the way that they are right now. So like, even if you think you're not doing so great, even if you think you're not doing so hot, please know that people are looking at you and they're like, dang, on my worst day, I wish I could be that. So you have something that people desire or that people look for or that people are enamored by. Don't think that you don't, okay? You have something really unique and spectacular. Clearly, this energy is like I said, inspiring to other people, or it has this energy of giving something again unique and joyful, or maybe even like, again, romantic, or it's something that's, it's fun, it's lighthearted. It like reminds them of what's important in life. Like, it reminds them to let go. It reminds them to release. It reminds them to be in the present moment. Like, I feel like there's something about your smile or something about the way that you laugh and the way that you convey energy, maybe like with your eyes or something. Like, you have this very bubbly and contagious like energy about you that, again, other people want to have for themselves. And again, not in a like take you down a peg type of vibe, but like a, how do you do that? Because like, I want to be doing that too. Like, I want to be about that life, just the way that like Pisces is. Okay. So preparations come to fruition. What I was getting with this card is that you guys have this belief about yourself, or you have this kind of limited like space, or like limited type of way that you think about yourself, that you view yourself. And I feel like with this card, with the Netcaster, I feel like you could be doing a lot better than you are, whatever that might mean to you. Because I think you need to cast a wider net. And I think that you have this limited kind of, like I said, like perception, like, oh, the net only goes out, or like my net only goes out however many feet. But I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I really do. I'm so sorry, but I do. I think you're wrong. And I think that because of that view that you have, that like you sell yourself short is the way I want to word this. Sorry for the glare. You sell yourself short. That's what I feel like I want to say here. You are not giving yourself enough credit. Like, I feel like you have this, again, kind of, the way I want to word this is like a warped view where you only think that you're like capable of so much. And I feel like even if you don't know that you're doing that, you're self-sabotaging. And then it's just creating this almost like landslide where it's like, because you don't think that you can on some sort of deeper level, you're not going to cast out your net as wide. But I feel like even when you cast out your net a little bit, you do pick things up. You do come back with like prizes or with abundance in some type of way. I don't know how to word that. My nose, I'm so sorry. The allergies are killing me lately. I feel like we need to have like a real talk, Pisces, like for real. We need to have a talk, which is I'm getting this like super sad energy of like, you don't give yourself enough credit, you self-sabotage, okay? And earlier, I almost forgot about this too while I was in meditation, like meditating on your energy and kind of, you know, getting into like channel mode. I was hearing what felt like an ancestor or like someone talking to me and being like, no, get up. What are you doing? Get up. No, you're not going to wallow in self-pity. Stop. Just get up. Come on, let's go. Just get up. Like, and I felt like it's like a tough love thing because I genuinely feel like, and this may be a chronic thing in your life, no matter where Pisces is in your chart, okay, definitely check out your chart, get your rising sign. Pisces rising is going to mean that Pisces rules your first house, okay? Aries rising, you're going to have a Pisces 12th house, for instance, okay? I feel like no matter what area Pisces rules in your chart, you self-sabotage that area of your life. If you're a Virgo rising, that means Pisces is going to rule your 7th house of relationships, of one-on-one connections. You may self-sabotage when it comes to your connections. If it is a Pisces 2nd house, and maybe you're an Aquarius rising, this could have to do with things that you value, how you value yourself, as well as like money as a whole, how you view money, or also romance could be involved in here too, because the 2nd house is going to be ruled by Venus. So no matter what area of your chart Pisces is in, okay, or what it rules, I feel like self-sabotage, underestimating yourself, and selling yourself short are themes that you guys probably deal with a lot. Because I kept hearing someone be like, no, just get up. No, get up. Let's go. Get up. No, we're not doing this. You're not wallowing in self-pity. You're not going to sit there and feel fucking bad for yourself. You're not going to sit in this hole and just rot. You're not doing that. Because let me tell you something right now, Pisces. Let me tell you something right now. Look at this. Fool's Embrace, number 22. Which could be really important to you, okay? Because you have 42, 28, 22. So 2's going on here, okay? But Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain. You guys were given something really difficult to move through in this reincarnation. Really, really difficult. You were given something real tough. Something that I do not think many people would be able to do and come out the other side completely unscathed and fine. And not necessarily saying that you're just like unscathed and like, you know, you're not dealing with some sort of consequence. But I genuinely feel as though what you were tasked to do here in this lifetime is not something that many people could do and come out as well as you have on the other side of it all. I think you've had a really hard life. Especially Pisces connected to the 12th house as well. So strong 12th house placements. You could be drawn to this message just because you have strong 12th house placements. But oh my God, I feel like you guys have just had a hard life. You've had a tough upbringing and a tough life. And I just get this sense of like, why does this always happen to me? Why does XYZ keep seeming to happen to me? Whether it's one thing or whether it's multiple things and it's like a category, it just feels like, why do these things keep happening to me? Why is this my life? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? But the thing is that with this transmuting pain, it tells me that you have something really unique, which is the ability to do that, okay? You having Pisces in your chart, especially in my Pisces sun, moon risings. Pisces, I always think of as the end of the zodiac. This is truly where on the cusp between Aries and Pisces right there in the chart, to me, is that place in which we experience a death and rebirth. So please look at that area in your chart where those two signs are next to each other. Like I said, if you have a Pisces 7th house, Aries is going to be your 8th, so you're having this death rebirth cycle possibly many times over in this lifetime between the 7th and the 8th house. Or if you have it between the 1st and the 2nd or the 3rd. You see what I'm saying? Where that overlaps, I think, is where you guys are going to see a lot of these death and rebirth cycles, okay? And for a lot of you, I feel like you have just experienced these situations over and over and over, where again, you feel like it can't get worse than it does, or you're like, I don't know how I'm going to handle XYZ, and you do. And I think that's why, like I said, the netcaster is like, you underestimate yourself, you sell yourself short. Like if you're trying to manifest something or create something like 3D in your life, I think you need to cast a wider net. I think you limit yourself because of what you have always just been conditioned to believe, or, you know, based off of your experiences about, well, last time I did X, Y, and Z, like this happened. Or I hate to say this, but please keep any and all illusions in check, okay? Sometimes when I think about Pisces, I think about the way that if you're looking into like the ocean, or you're looking down into a body of water like that, right? You can't see the bottom clearly. You can't see your path clearly. So sometimes the thoughts that we have about ourselves, the way that we are perceiving ourselves, right, is someone who like in this card, it's maybe more like feeble, or someone who, again, can't accomplish a lot. Like there seems to be that perception you have of what you are capable of, what you can accomplish, or what, again, you can just create, or whatever it is in your life, or whatever word you want to use there. But the thing is that you have this really beautiful, powerful energy about you, which is that you are capable of transmuting really painful energies, really dark energies, and really dense energies. And I think that is because of your relation to the 12th house. It's called the dark house. This is where these kind of like deep areas of the subconscious, of the psyche, sometimes it's also connected to mental health. It can be connected towards isolation. People who have strong 12th house placements often need to isolate. They often need to be alone. And depending on what other planets you have going on there, that time that you spend in isolation or solitude, it could be isolation where it feels more negative. Others could feel like, a time of like rest, renewal, etc. So just kind of depending on the planets and the aspects and that thing, right? But you are capable of transmuting so much pain because, again, Pisces is that last piece before then we are reborn, right? That's how I'm viewing this. Pisces is that last piece where we learn to work with the depths of our subconscious, or we learn to work with the spiritual, the things that are intangible, and learn everything that we can where Pisces is related, so that way we can bring forth and birth whatever that Aries section of your chart is, right? So to me, I feel like a connection between these two is really important to know. For those of you who have Pisces risings and it's your first house and it moves into the second house of Aries, being, again, your values or money, stability and security, all those types of earthly things related to Venus, as well as possibly love and romance to a degree. So this massive change in like spiritually who we are, like it's almost like a breaking down of the spirit to find what we truly value, hence the second house. See what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of you are going through this right now, is that like you are transmuting so much, or you're mutating, and you are able to kind of alchemize these bigger energies. And I don't think a lot of people can do that. And that's why they look at you and they're like, wow, you've gone through all of this. You've gone through so much, and it's so heavy and so deep and so dark. Like, but you're still this bright, bubbly, smiley, like ball of light that you just kind of exude healing, or you exude just happiness or joy or bliss or whatever to everyone else. And I think that's what it is that makes people look at you and go, wow, if I could be like that on my worst day, then I would be better for it. I would be a completely different person for that. I would be really living. I would be really like learning something. I would like the equivalent of living instead of just being alive, I think, is that where you can transmute so much pain and still be happy, still look for your bliss, still look for the moments, the little tiny glimmers of joy. And I think that's such a beautiful thing that you possess, and that people look at you and are like, wow, I wish I could do that. Okay, moving on from that, you also have hollow bone, teachability. So this is what I feel like I heard and felt it both, that this is a gift. You have the gift of teachability, because that's immediately what I heard, is that this is a gift. You have the gift of teachability, which is, I think, why this transmuting pain is here too. This teachability that, again, you can go through something that is very drastic or very, very dark, very deep. Like maybe it has a lot to do with like emotional pain or some sort of trauma. Maybe it has to do with grief, right? It's this thing that normally I don't think many people would be able to just kind of like walk through and be like, oh, well, that sucked, but whatever. I feel like a lot of people are in this mindset of like, why is XYZ happening to me? And instead, I think you have the capability to look at things as, what is this teaching me? Teachability. What is this teaching me? What am I learning from this? This is happening for me, but why? What is it bringing me to? What is it showing me? What is it helping me learn? What is it teaching me again, right? And I feel like this is a gift in itself. It's like not everyone can be taught these types of things. I think this has a very heavy spiritual like context to it. Not everyone is teachable. I know that sounds crazy to some people because you're like, everyone is. Not everyone is, bestie, I promise you, okay? Not everyone is teachable, and not everyone can almost like the learning that is happening, it's like you're being, it's like you're teaching yourself. Like life is giving you the experiences or the opportunities, but you are learning time and time again on your own how to act different the next time, how to be a little bit better, how to adapt and change and, you know, figure out the best way to do things. And I feel like that's been your entire life, is like perseverance and adaptability. You are very teachable. That is a gift. Not everyone has that. So through experiences, through the lessons that the universe has given you, has shown up and been like, here, bestie, what can you do with this? You know, I think that a lot of people would be like, why is this happening? And, you know, why me? And why is life so hard? And instead you're having those thoughts and you're feeling that way, but you're still pushing forward. You're not letting these circumstances and life rob you of the joy that you're like, this is my birthright. You're not letting life rob you of that. That's beauty, in my opinion, okay? Next, this deck that I have, that I actually only really use it for myself, but I thought for Pisces, I don't know, it felt resonant, which is funny because in the Cancer reading that I did, one of the cards had a mirror on it, and then I chose to use the mirror oracle for this reading for you guys. I'm gonna read these cards because number one, you have the Thief, which is a bird here. I believe it's a blue jay, and the bird has an earring in its mouth, and this card is called the Thief. And I believe in the book it talks about similar, like our perception of something, you know, what have we believed just for the sake of someone told us, pretty much. I'm gonna read it. But then they also have, or you also have miasma. I'm not really sure how to pronounce this, to be completely honest with you. But this is what it looks like. Get the two crows here, okay? I'm gonna read them to you guys because I feel like they need to be read. I don't feel like just explaining it to you is enough, to be completely honest. So I wanted to wait and read them to you. Like when they came out, I was like, oh my God. Like, these are so fitting for the stuff that I was channeling, but I wanted to make sure that I read them to you directly. So, let me find the Thief, and then we'll get into it. I'm feeling I just gotta go to the beginning to find the card, because I swear I keep going over it. Where is it? Oh, 81. That tracks. I did go by it. All right, the Thief. This is the bird, okay? This is the bird. The blue jay, so it is a blue jay. Blue jay earring associations are numbers 39, 12, and 3. Misunderstanding, the hermit. While birds are associated with stealing, I'm trying to make sure the glare. While birds are associated with stealing shiny, valuable objects in folklore, these beliefs are largely unsubstantiated in reality or misunderstood. The Thief invites us to investigate our prejudices, misunderstandings, miscommunications, and our interactions with myth. How a story can become larger than reality itself and proliferate so widely that none question it. This is what I mean. I think you're doing this to yourself, where it's like you get yourself wrapped up in this thing and you're like, wait, why do I even believe that? Like, where did that belief even come from? And you just realize you've been following it to follow it for so long. In tarot, it's associated with the Hermit, an oft misunderstood card that asks us to examine our relationship with introversion, reclusion, and solitary thought. Did I not mention all those things to you, Pisces? This card can suggest miscommunication, breakdowns in hierarchy, and illusions. Very Piscean. It can also symbolize loss, deception, and an absence of control. And so again, like I said, I think this is dependent on, you know, what else is going on in your chart, but the way that we view these energies. Is it solitude and rest and rejuvenation, or is it ostracizing? Is it being alone? Is it isolation? Is it loneliness? Okay. God, my allergies. Terrible. Okay. Let's do miasma. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm absolutely butchering that, like no one's business, but whatever. Let's see if I can find it here. 43. Okay, here we go. Symbols. House crows, which is so funny because I was like, a house crow. like different from like a normal crow. Anyways, smoke also is a symbol, as well as the moon. Associations are numbers 20 and 2, which we had 22 earlier, right? So that tracks. Uncertainty and a lack of clarity. Miasma explores that which clouds and distorts our vision. A myriad of things can limit our understanding of situations, people, and circumstances, and our vision can become further distorted as the obstacles in our path continue to mount. This fog is temporary, however, and will lift. It is a matter of patience, watching, and waiting. This card suggests a need to break away, reconvene, and seek truth. See what I'm saying? Pisces or 12th house placements, the definition is very important here, right? Okay. What are you doing? Eating a leaf. Trying to eat a leaf. It can also suggest gross oversights, misinterpretations, and gullibility. One must be careful not to fall victim to the clouded images in their wake. It is giving very Piscean, as I said. I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards before we end this just to get a little bit more info. But I do think, Pisces, that this is a matter of, you know, you have a lot of different messages in here, but I think that you are teachable, and I think you're someone that learns and makes sure that they're learning from their life experiences, from the things that are happening to them, no matter how awful sometimes it seems, like, why does this keep happening to me? But I think for the most part, you do try to look for the silver lining and the positivity, or, you know, whatever it is that you're learning from a situation, and that is inspiring to other people. Even when you feel like you're in the depths of it, you know, you are inspiring others with the way that you have come to view life, with the way that you've come to live your life. I think it's something that's giving very old soul, and not many people understand, or not many people have the ability to do what you're doing. Okay, so make sure, especially with like the thief and the whole miasma card or whatever, talking a lot about illusions. Do we believe something just because, or is there a reason behind it? Can you give me some more energy, Spirit? Some clarification. Whoa. 8 of Wands, and that flew out of the deck. So you got something coming in really fast. And you know what? I think it probably has to do with you widening your net, right? Cast a wider net. 8 of Wands flew out of the deck. What else about this 8 of Wands? What's coming in? For some of you, I do get a sense of wanting to move out of something or away from something. It could be an actual, like, physical move. But for some of you, I feel like you've been wanting to just, like, change something. Change anything, something very particular, maybe about your life. There almost seems like this big thing where it's been on your mind. You're like, oh my God, I want to change this. I want to move. I want to change up what I'm doing. But change is the center of like what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling. You also have the Death card in reverse here, so it's a Scorpio energy. I feel like you were moving at a pretty like speedy pace. Like something was happening pretty like I feel like you guys were going like 110 miles per hour. You're like, you're going, and then all of a sudden you go boom, and there it is. It's just like something stops, or something gets in your way, or there's some sort of something here. I feel like Spirit is almost fast tracking you to these problems, to like really clear out some stuff by like the end of the year. Because I'm really getting this feeling about like January for some reason for some of you. And I like, yeah, I just feel like it's almost like you're like speeding down the highway, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a block, boom, you have to stop. It's like Spirit's bringing you like right to the problem. I feel like if you cast a wider net, so to speak, right, in this case, or if you kind of open up a little bit more, that you can see things differently. It'll change your perspective, or kind of shift your mindset a little bit, or something like that, where it allows you to see more. Like I'm getting this feeling of like seeing out of my peripheral, where I feel like Spirit's taking you to the direct source. If you just tune in, and if you're asking, and if you're like, again, with all these things happening, with all the pain you're transmuting and stuff, I feel like this is saying like Spirit's taking you right to the source. And if Spirit's not taking there, that's the teachability, teaching you how to get right to the source of the problem, right to the root, right to the core of an issue, so you can like see it and be done with it. Yeah, because look, and then you have the Devil here too, some Capricorn energy, and that's the stuff that is like, what am I attached to, right? What are my beliefs? What are my values? What do I think that I'm capable of? The devil, no matter what it is, although oftentimes with the devil, I do think about mindset and the way that we see something, perceive something, believe something, right? Our beliefs in some way. It's almost like when people say like, oh, I have a guilty pleasure. It's like, you know, it's not great for you, but you do it anyway type of thing. So I feel like that's what this is, a spirit, or maybe you bringing yourself there to see things for exactly what they are, as maybe not the best, maybe not the most healthy. I feel like you guys are making massive changes in your life right now. Like I said, death and rebirth cycles. Tell me about the devil for Pisces. Gotta know more about the devil here. You can't just leave me like that. The devil. Tell me more about the devil, please. Cats are going crazy in the background, so you know the energy's potent. Oh my gosh, wow. There could be something coming up in your life right now that you did not want to look at, and now you're being forced to look at it. 8 of Cups in reverse here, as well as the moon in reverse. I feel like the current energy with, you know, Mars opposing Pluto, among some other things. I'm recording this shortly before the new moon coming up in Scorpio, so that depends on where that is in your chart. But this energy to me makes me feel like you were avoiding something, not able to look at something as deeply as you needed to, not able to understand something as deeply as you needed to. I feel like you procrastinated here. I really do. Because this is clarifying the devil. You were not leaving something behind. You were not detaching emotionally in a place that you needed to. Some very shadowy energy coming up here, and I feel like you've been forced to look at something, forced to reevaluate something that you were just avoiding, to be honest with you. Obviously with death in reverse, you needed to tackle it. It's overdue. Tell me about death in reverse for Pisces. There's that 4 of Cups in reverse. That was in a different reading that I did as well earlier, I think. Yeah, I think something had just seen its time. It's seen its time. And it wasn't being, like, dealt with. It wasn't being, like, handled. It wasn't being managed. Or it was being ignored entirely. Because the devil in reverse, you have 4 of Cups reverse and 10 of Cups reverse. Something that I think you were well aware of wasn't working, wasn't bringing you emotional stability, or wasn't bringing you emotional security. It wasn't making you happy. Just at its core, wasn't making you happy. But again, it's like, what are the things that we believe just because we've always believed them? Like with the thief. And I'm hearing like thief of joy, right? And the devil being this thing of like, maybe you know it's not great for you, or maybe you know you have this quality that you don't love, you want to change, right? And maybe you've just ignored it. Maybe you haven't looked at it. Maybe you just don't want to. But this death in reverse, man, it's something that I don't think has been bringing you joy for a while. 10 of Cups in reverse too can sometimes mean just very plainly and clearly unhappiness. Like just not happy. I feel like spirit is bringing you to these points, or if not, you are just, again, getting there really quickly, where it's like fast tracking to the things that aren't working for you, seeing it very much what it is, and kind of learning this behavior of like, okay, if it doesn't make me happy, I'm no longer doing it. And there's no need to kind of explain or even over explain or whatever. It's just a matter of like, if it doesn't make me happy, I'm not doing it. That's it. It's that simple. Nine of Swords. I feel like you guys are making a choice. 9 of Swords is like, you've been stressing about whatever this is for so long, and I feel like sometimes it's almost like we forget. Like, have you ever had these moments of like, maybe like you are like, oh, I can't have ice cream for dinner because I'm an adult. But then you're like, wait, I can have ice cream for dinner if I want because I'm an adult. It's like one of those weird surreal moments. Like I kind of feel like that's what's going on here for you guys, is this feeling of like, I could let this bother me, but like at any moment I could just say no. At any moment I could just not do that anymore. Like it's almost like forgetting that you have the power to create what you want, or the power to like kind of craft your own reality, so to speak. Three of Wands, exactly. It's just simple choice. I'm not going to do it anymore. And I think, again, that's a part of your teachability. And that's a part of this like transmuting pain energy. You have that ability to just pick up and go, you know what? Because you're a mutable sign, right? Pisces is mutable. So it's this energy of being able to go with the flow and adapt. You're like, I don't want to do it anymore, so I'm just gonna not. That's it. You don't need to explain it to anybody. You don't need to over-explain. You don't need to give more detail than necessary. You don't need to have a reason why. I feel like sometimes even for yourselves, you're like, well, I'm gonna do this because like I should do that, and I'm, blah blah blah. You don't need a reason to do anything. Your reason of being I like it or I don't is enough. Like that literally is enough. I need you guys to know this, okay? Well, you have this Nine of Swords and then you have this Three of Wands, which to me is exactly as I said, right? Just plain choosing not to do it anymore. Knowing that it's a conscious choice and that you can change the outcome. And then you also have the Lovers in reverse and you have Justice. So I kind of feel like this is like you being protected, right? Because this is like bringing some sort of balance in here. The Lovers could be Gemini energy too. That could be important to you. But I feel like the Lovers is talking about this energy of like, when it's in reverse, like not being able to alchemize something or needing to make like a tough choice between two options that like are kind of sort of opposites here. And sometimes it can represent the masculine and the feminine within ourselves and, bringing those two together in balance. But I feel like balance is being restored by you separating from something or you saying no to something. You very much choosing to walk away from something because it's not making you happy. And it could be many things that are making you happy. But I feel like overall, kind of like the principle and the point here is that you are carrying way too much. And so instead of carrying all this pain, transmuting pain, right? Instead of carrying all this pain, and maybe you're like, well, that's a part of my life. Like that's, I was reincarnated here to do that. Or maybe it's, it's my karma according to my chart. It's like whatever your reason is, you don't need a reason to say, I don't want to do that anymore. You don't need a reason to say, I do want to do this. You don't need a reason to do anything. And I feel like the emphasis here is on you have this, again, teachability, understanding, and adaptability. You can handle a lot. And it doesn't mean that you should. It doesn't mean that you should have to, but that you're capable of that. Okay? And if you just choose to do something one day, that's fine. If you just suddenly choose to believe that you can cast a wider net and that you can get way more than you're currently getting in life, then you're going to get it. And if you believe that you can't, then you can't. It's the same way of like, there is no try. Do or do not, there is no try. If you believe that you can, you will. And if you believe that you can't, then you can't. It literally actually is that simple. And sometimes I feel like we forget that simplicity and we get a little bit lost in those like illusions, so to speak, okay? But overall, you guys are doing fantastic. And remember that even on your worst days, people still look at you like, damn, I wish I could be that. I love you so much. I hope this helps. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up down there. I really appreciate that, guys. If you give me a thumbs up and you like the video, it helps me get it out to so many other people. And if you enjoyed it, if you resonated, please leave a comment. If you want to hang out with me further and do more readings like this, then obviously subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notified of all my upcoming videos. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. You got this. I'll see you soon. Bye.